Hey YouTube, it's LilyHarvord. I know it has been absolutely like frickin' eternity since I put a video up. I know my last video I had to take down for personal reasons that is too complicated to explain. Nobody would understand. But, so today I'm pretty much doing a book haul, but it's not really a book haul, it's more of like a summary review of my year in English / what I'm reading over the summer and what I have read over the year. So pretty much I have my handy dandy list of books that I wrote down that I did not write. I did not write half these. It would be pretty awesome if I did though. But so the book I'm starting with that I read over the summer, over last summer, not this summer, was I read 2 books. I had to read 2 books. I have my stack of books right here. It's very nice and lovely. But the first book that I had to read was The Secret Life of Bees by Sue Monk Kidd. Now, I didn't really like the book. I didn't personally like it. And that's probably because, well, it was very chick flicky. I'm not into chick flicks. I'm into, like, hardcore, kick-ass kind of stuff. And I guess it's because, I don't know, I haven't run away from home before in my life. I've never, like, had a dad that beat me up and stuff, and I didn't live back in that time period, so it's probably why I didn't, like, get into it. But so this book is okay. If you're really looking for a book to show how you've matured and to measure yourself up, that's a book to read. The second book I read over the summer was a book called Night. I don't actually have it. It's on my phone. I might be able to get it for you. But pretty much what the book is it's about a person named Ezekiel, and he lives in, it's by Eli Wiesel, sorry, and he pretty much is like, he's this guy that got sent to Auschwitz, and he pretty much survives all these work camps and all that, and we had to write a giant essay on it, but I don't know if you can see that. No, you can't. That's awkward. Okay. Never mind. That's awkward. But you can't see the title of it. But yeah, that's my case. It's pretty awesome. It's missing the black part of it. But it's a pretty good book. I liked it personally. I loved it, actually, because I'm a huge fan of the Holocaust. I'm a huge fan of those persevering stories and all that. And so that's why I liked it a lot. The next book we read was a book called Of Mice and Men, and now this book, on a scale of like 1 to 10, it's like a 6. If you've read, it's so much foreshadowing and like imagery and stuff that you're kind of like, okay, you've described that leaf 6 times, and I get it. It's a yellow leaf. It's great. Why do you describe it in like 4 different colors? And I mean, if you're not into books like that, don't read it. But I mean, Of Mice and Men, it was okay. I didn't like it that much because my teacher made every book this year horrible. She made every single book we read this year terrible. Like, every book I've liked, she made me hate. And it was kind of sad. But so, Of Mice and Men is by George Steinbeck. And I'm going to put, like, all these books in the description, so if you ever read them or want to find them. And I can't really do a review on some of them because I read them so long ago, and I don't actually have the book with me. I checked it out from my school library or something. So I didn't actually have it with me, so I can't reread it and give you guys a book review or a book summary. The next book we read was Animal Farm. And Animal Farm, if you studied the Russian Revolution and all that, and like the Bolsheviks and all that, then you know what Animal Farm's about. You understand what's going on and all that. But if you didn't read that part, you didn't understand that part of history, then you're going to be so lost and confused in Animal Farm. You're going to be wandering around in China when we're sitting in like Russia. And you're just like, this makes no sense, I don't know what's going on. And the truth is that Animal Farm is an allegory. It's like a reference, it makes character, it's like a fable, allegory, fantasy thing that has animals pretending to be Russian Revolution heroes or villains. And we were supposed to write an essay on it, but then my teacher ended up making us do this huge giant project where we picked another book that was an allegory and we had to do all that stuff. And pretty much what I ended up reading was Alice in Wonderland with a group of my friends. We read Alice in Wonderland, well, I read Alice in Wonderland, and I thought it was okay. I didn't really like Alice in Wonderland as much as I thought I would. Maybe it's because it didn't follow the Disney story, but it was okay. It was pretty good, actually. I liked it, personally. That unit was hard because a lot of people hadn't studied the Animal Farm area yet. Okay, so the next book that we read, we actually read over winter break. Well, we had to read before winter break, and we ended up reading a book along with it. Kind of like a duo book so that you could understand more of what she wanted. And the book that we ended up reading was a book called Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. Now, this book, as you can see, I bought because I have my sticky notes, and I highlighted, and I wrote in the book. Like, I had a lot of fun with this book. I colored with it. It was fun, but it was the first book I'd bought that I'd, like, colored in. It's probably for my brothers later on when they get to high school. But, the book is amazing. If you read the book and you, like, if you're a reader, if you're a huge-time reader and a huge-time writer, then you're gonna love this book, because it takes place in the future where books are, like, no-nos. You're not allowed to have a book. If you have books, your library gets burned and you will die, pretty much. And it centers around this guy named Montag, who's a firefighter. Problem is, firefighters in this book, they start fires. They burn the books, which is kind of funny because they're firefighters. And the whole book is ironic and witty, and it touches on how technology is ruining us and stuff like that, and how eventually we're going to become such simple people that it won't matter anymore. And it was such a good message, and Ray Bradbury writes books like this all the time, and so he really milked this one. It's pretty short, though. It's only 158 pages. It's a good, like, read if you're bored and you just want to read something. It's a great read, and Ray Bradbury is a good author. He's awesome, and you will fall in love with this book. I did, personally. But so, eventually, after Fahrenheit 451, over winter break, we had another project. We had to read another book. Now, she gave us a list of books, and they all kind of tied into Fahrenheit 451 in some way. There were books like, a book called Skinned, that was actually now called Frozen, something like that. A book called Red, that my friend read. My friend read the book Red. And my other friend read Frozen. But I ended up picking Ender's Game, because I'm so excited because the movie's coming out now, so I've read the book, and I can now go see the movie. And I fell in love with Ender's Game. Generally, I don't get really attached to books. Like, I read them, and they're good, and I think they're fun. But then this book I got super, super attached to, and it made me cry in the end, actually. If you've read Ender's Game and you know what happens, you kind of know what I'm talking about. I don't want to give away the book, but it's kind of sad if I do give it away. But I'm probably going to end up doing that right now. But I cried at the end where he figures out the truth behind everything and what really happened with Mazer and all that. And it made me kind of cry. And I felt really bad for him. And I ended up actually reading the whole entire series because I fell so in love with the books and all that. I read all this little books that go with it and all that stuff, and it was so good. I don't know why, because I love fantasy and I love science fiction, which is why I'm a Star Wars girl. Woo! But yeah, so this book is really good. I give this book, if you want to read for the movie, read it. It is totally worth it to read it for the movie. The next book that we read is a personal favorite of mine that I read when I was younger and I loved. And the book is To Kill a Mockingbird, and I have a special book cover, and pretty much, I love this book because it's touching, and it really touches on, yes, maturation, like The Secret Life of Bees, but it is good because it's such a powerful story, and it really teaches us about human instincts and, like, what we do and how we are really as people. And you kind of can take a look at yourself and go, wow, I'm actually kind of like those people. Why am I like that? And it's kind of sad, but the book is so powerful and has such a great message. Unfortunately, my English teacher ruined it for me. She ruined the whole book for me because she connected it back to God and she connected it back to everything, when I personally liked the way that I portrayed the characters, the way I saw Maycomb and how I saw the town and how I portrayed Boo Radley and all that. And it made me sad that she ruined it for me. The next books that we read were Mythology by Edith Hamill something. I don't even remember her name. It was a dumbass book. But I'm not even going to go into mythology, because I love mythology with a passion. I love learning about it. I love kind of questioning it and going, well, why is it this way, kind of thing. But my teacher somehow said it's bad because God is not really God in this book, and I was just like, it's great. Thanks. But this was around the time where I read the book The Goddess Test, and oh my god, like, that series saved me. The Goddess Test is by Amy Carter, and I'm actually going to do a book review on it soon, if I can, like, get a hold of what's going on. But so I plan to, like, do a book review on that. Yeah, okay. So that's when I read The Goddess Test, and The Goddess Test is super good if you're, like, reading mythology and you don't really understand. It doesn't have so much mythology that you get bored, but it's got enough in it that you start to understand what's going on. The final book we read, which, oh my god, I'm sure every freshman has to read this, but we ended up reading Romeo and Juliet. As you see, I bought my own copy, and it's a fancy copy because it says no fear on the top. And it's, as you can see, I went to town with my sticky notes. My sticky notes are my friends, okay? They're awesome. Sticky notes are amazing. They, like, save my life. They're like little sheets of paper that you can write things on and, like, keep track of stuff. It's cool. But so, this book was pretty good. This book is really helpful because inside of it, on one side you have the actual you have the actual Romeo and Juliet, and then on the other side you have English translation. So you can kind of actually just read the English and listen to the Shakespearean and know what's going on. You're not sitting there going, wait, where are they now? Wait, who's that? What is going on? You don't ask those questions because you have your English version that tells you everything you need to know at the time. But so, Romeo and Juliet was okay. I'm not, like, in love with the story like some people are. I was kind of like, why the heck was she so frickin' just, like, desperate? Are you serious? You have to be that desperate of a girl? That you have to, like, die to be with your guy? Wow, you were seriously in love there. It's good stuff. But, so that kind of covers up my year in English. I'm now going to touch on some books that I read for fun, or that I read kind of just for, yeah, fun. But so, one of the books that I read was The Great Gatsby, and that's because the movie came out, and I was like, you know, I want to read The Great Gatsby. So I read The Great Gatsby, and oh my god, it was amazing. Now, my mom warned me going into it that I probably wouldn't know what was going on half the time, and the truth was, I kind of didn't 1/4 of the time. But the book was amazing. I loved The Great Gatsby, and I loved, because I read the book and then I saw the movie, and I really understood the movie, and a lot of people that I talked to that said they didn't like the movie said they didn't read the book, and I was like, well, you should have read the book. But they read the book and everything got better. So I read The Great Gatsby, which I give that book, like, perfect stars, which makes me kind of sad because I'm going to read it my junior year and it's going to be ruined by my teacher. Sad face. But another book that I read that is actually being made into a movie and is coming out in 2014, May 21st, is Divergent. And I loved this book. This book was, I loved it. Because it started off with me going, oh god, she's going to be one of those girls, isn't she? But then she became like this, like, awesome, epic fighting machine that just, like, had to keep going. And I was just like, it's good stuff. You're like Katniss. I'll go with you. And so this book, I give 9.5 stars because the beginning is a little slow and I didn't really like it as much as I think I wanted to. But I'm excited to see the movie. Another book that I read that I wasn't too in love with, I didn't really like it personally because it was too chick flicky, too clingy, too, oh, I don't really like you, you're not very good. It was too slow of a plot for me, and the book was Delirium. Now, I know a lot of people say Delirium is, like, really good, and oh my god, I love Delirium. But I'm kind of like, it's alright. I don't really love it, but I don't hate it. It's kind of like Justin Bieber in me. I'm okay with him. I can listen to his music. I just can't, like him as a person. Whatever. But so, that's that book. I started, because a lot of people have been reading this guy, and I read Maximum Ride, and so I thought, oh, you know, I'm going to get into his other books. And so I started Daniel X by James Patterson. And I like it so far. It's interesting. It's got an interesting premise story to it. It's very Maximum Ride-y, and so I was like, yay! As you can see, I have a Maximum Ride book behind me, Fang. I'm so excited. I love that book. And over the summer, my brothers and me are kind of, we're preparing for 2015, the Star Wars book movie release. And there's rumors and whatnot, and I'm like, go away, rumors. Nobody believes you. So pretty much my book haul from the library was I got the entire Thrawn trilogy. I got the first one, which is, Heir to the Empire, Dark Force Rising, and The Last Command. And so that's like my book haul kind of thing. And I need to get more books. I know. I just don't have the time to go to Barnes & Noble and get myself books. But I'm planning on getting, like, a lot of new books. Like, I want to finish reading the series with Demon Glass and Hex Hall, I think is what it's called. Because I love that series and never have to finish it. I'm also waiting for Enders to come out and all that. And so there's a lot of exciting things coming. Because we have Ender's Game, the movie coming. And we have Catching Fire. And we have all these beautiful movies. And I'm so excited. Yee! And I saw a bunch of movies. Like I saw The Hangover Part 2 finally. That was awesome. Yeah, so I'm going to start doing more reviews over the summer since I'm going to have time, and yeah. So, this has been a sort of summary haul of my freshman year. Woo, freshman year! I'm a Sophie now. Yay,